Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the King's Podcast. It's your host, Eugene, aka G Money, and we are back with another episode on the net worth segment where we're going to talk about money. And on this segment, we talk about people's money, we talk about celebrities' money, their issues with SARS, we talk about the government, the issues with the South African economy, political climates that are influencing money within the country, and other external factors like your Donald Trump, like your other governments, people that we deal with, your BRICS, those things that are affecting our country and how we make money, how we spend money, and how we do business with each other and other parties outside of the country. On today's show, I'm going to continue on the segment where we are talking about South Africa as a whole, as a state, as a government, the amount of money that we are making as a country and how that affects everything that is going on with the people not being happy. We are unhappy about SARS and the government, the Ministry of Finance, charging us more VAT, increasing VAT by 0.5%, 1%. We are crying about that. So let's focus on the issues that I believe is making our country to look at ways to increase revenue, to look at ways to manage what we are dealing with. One of those things that is making the country look at increasing tax, and sometimes they are withholding tax from us. Sometimes they are even putting tax on hold, like your income tax, your company's tax, they are not being increased this year. So the reason why I want us to dive deep a bit into South Africa as a whole is because of the situation that we are in. First of all, our country spends more than they make, which means that if you are a person, you make 10,000 and you spend 13,000, you spend more than you make. As a country, we are like a person who spends 13,000 but they only make 10,000. We spend more than we make. The government collects 2 trillion and 220 billion. That's 2.2 trillion. They spend 2.6 trillion. They spend more than they have. The country spends more than they have, which means we are in a deficit for 300 billion. We are in a deficit of 300 billion, which means that we have a shortage. In simple words, we don't have enough money. We make 2.2, we spend 2.6. So we are short by about 300 to 400 billion. That's the amount of money that we have to borrow from somewhere. Even if we collect tax, even if the government charges rates, the government charges, we pay for services, the government, we pay for dustbin collection, we pay for different services, we sell things, the government will make things in their own companies, then we collect money. Even if we charge people tariffs who are bringing their goods here, even if we do other things, we still don't make enough money. It's like a person. You make 10,000, you spend 15,000, you are short for 5,000. You don't have enough money. You spend more than you have, and you try and hustle. You try and sell this and that. You try and play super bet way, and gambling. You make some more money, and it's still not enough. That's like our country. We make money, we try and do other things to collect more money or to sell things, offer services and make money, but we still don't make enough to cover our expenses. So on this podcast, on this episode, I'm going to focus on the debt that our country has. How much debt does the country have? The country has about 6.3 trillion debt, and we have a GDP, or the money that we make within the country, is about 6.9. So you can see that our debt, the cumulative debt, or the debt from years and years ago up to now, that the amount of debt, even the apartheid government's debt that we are still paying, even the debt that we started to accumulate as a country in freedom, the amount of debt you collect it, you put it together in one basket, you throw all the debt inside, all your bills, all your car loan, all your bonds, all your personal loans, you put them in a basket, you add them up as an individual. That's how much money you owe to people outside. You have a total debt that you owe to people, your credit card, your loans, your loan that you took to build a house, your loan that you took for the car, your bond, all those things, you put them together, you will know how much money you owe. The government has a similar thing. All the the government debt that we took for the 2010 World Cup, the debt that we took when we were building different divisions, the debt that we took during COVID, the debt that we took to build power stations and other things in the past. Some projects have been financed by debt. That debt, you collect it, you add it together, it's about 6.2 trillion. And it's not that far off from how much money we make as a country, as an economy. In simple words, we are living a debt life, and that is the thing that I want to highlight in this video. We are living a debt life. There is a debt-free life, there's a debt life. We are living on credit, we are living on a borrowed life, on a rented line. We are living on a rented line. It's not our line, the line of credit that we are proud of as an individual. If you are living your life on debt, you earn 300,000 a year and you have debt close to 300,000, you are playing. You gotta be serious. You can't earn 600,000 and you have debt which is 600,000 and you survive on debt. So which means you survive on your money and you survive on debt also, and then you're gonna crash because the money that you make is going to finance the debt, is going to go to the debt. Most of that money you're gonna pay your debt. You're gonna pay it over 20 years. The person that you owe the money to, if they are big enough, they don't mind that you take 20 years. They don't mind that you take 50 years. But what happens sooner or later is that they're going to impose conditions on you. As a government, these people, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund that we borrow money from, the other external nations that we borrow money from, they're going to start imposing conditions on us as a country because we owe them and we take years to pay. We take 30 years. If there is debt that we inherited from apartheid and that debt we are paying it still, that debt is over 30 years old, is over 50 years old. So which means we are in situations where we continue to live on debt. In this video, I've already highlighted that our country is on debt. As an individual, if you are on a deficit, if you have such and such income, but you have so many expenses more than your income, you are living on debt. You're gonna have to get the money from somewhere so you can maintain your lifestyle. The government needs to get money from somewhere so we can maintain our lifestyle. And some of the money that we have debt on, that we have already used, the debt that we already received and used, the money that we have already used is no longer coming in, it's only going out. Most of the debt is not new debt, it's old debt that we received years ago. We used it on projects, we used it on COVID. That amount of money that we received, we are still paying it now, but there is less coming in, there is more going out. So how much money does the government pay on debt? To finance our debt, which means we are paying the capital portion, we are paying how much we owe, we are paying the interest also. It's about 465 billion, 465 billion rands a year that we spend on financing debt. Whoever we owe money to, we have to pay them back, and we spend about 465 billion. And this brings me back to tax. Because if you spend 465 billion a year, which is around 1.8 or 1.6 billion a day, let that sink in. We spend 465 billion a year. Per day, we spend about 1.6 billion a day to finance the debt. And on the other hand, the amount of money we collect from VAT only before the increase, this 15% VAT, the amount of money we collect from our people, from our companies, is about 499 billion. So already we don't have to debate VAT anymore, because every time I mention VAT, a lot of people in the comments, they're crying, they are insulting, they are not happy about the points that I make, that it's mandatory. Sooner or later, VAT is going to go up. VAT did not start at 15%. It started at 4. It went up to 5. It went up to 6, 7, 10, 12, 14, and then 15. VAT has been going up. When I mention that VAT will go up, people get mad. Now I just want to show you that our country, don't make enough money. We have so much debt that we have to borrow, and we owe trillions and trillions of rands from people outside, governments outside, institutions outside, banks outside of this land, China Bank, China Development Bank, and other banks. They come here, they borrow us money, they do projects for us with the money that is their own money, and we pay for that money. We owe so many people money. We spend as much as we collect on VAT alone as a tax bracket, as a tax type. When you look at VAT and tax that we pay on goods, and we collect that, the government collects that amount of money from us as business people. When you add that money, you compare it with how much we pay on debt, they are not far off, guys. They are not far off. The amount of money that we are spending on financing or servicing the debt is as close as how much money we collect on VAT. So you might as well say, settle the debt and cancel the VAT, then you cross these two off. If you don't have VAT in the country, and if you don't have debt, you have a shortage of about 30 billion only, which is the almost how much money we are crying about. If the VAT increases by 0.5%, that's how much more we can collect. We can only collect 28 billion rands more than what we are already collecting on VAT. So that's how much money. So if you look at how much money we spend per year to finance the debt and how much money we collect per year from VAT, they are not that much far off. They are similar totals. The amount of money that we are collecting and the amount of money we are spending on debt, it's almost similar. But you cannot live without debt. At some point, debt is cash flow. The government thrives on cash flow. If there is no cash flow, they can't pay salaries. If there is no cash flow, they can't pay for services. There are people who do business with the government. And if you are here watching and you are a businessman who does business with the government and the government does not pay you, you're not going to be happy. The government thrives on cash flow. So that is the reason why they collect VAT every month. Every 30 days or every 60 days, a business has to submit their VAT returns. They're going to find out if they have to collect from SARS or if they have to pay SARS. That is the business relationship with us and the government when it comes to VAT. You pay them, they pay you. Some months they pay you, some months you pay them. And overall, you're going to see that it's not a lot of money that the government is collecting on VAT. So if I'm going to finish this video, I won't finish it without highlighting the dire situation that we are in. As a country, we are in a bad situation. Our country is going through a lot financially, economically, politically. There is this party, the Democratic Alliance, which is fighting with the ANC, the African National Congress. These parties, they are ruling together with, in the midst of the situation we are in. The GNU, the climate of politics right now is not in a place where one nation, can be ruled by one party. One nation is being ruled by multiple parties. Your DA, your Patriotic Alliance, and other, your IFP, and your Freedom Front Plus. These are the parties that are together with the ANC ruling the government, ruling the nation. So this is one of the things that is contributing to our country not doing well. This thing of VAT is being blown up. The social media landscape is, making sure that we spread the news. People are making their opinions heard. As myself right now on this platform, I'm making my opinion heard. We have different opinions. Some people believe VAT should go up, like myself. Some people don't believe VAT should go up. There are many different opinions, and some people, they don't want to argue. Some people, they don't want to debate. They just want to say no, VAT must not go up, because they're thinking about their own stomach, they are thinking about their own pockets. But when it comes to the country that is South Africa, you have to be sensitive to the fact that our country is not in great condition. Our country spending a lot of money on debt. Our country is paying a lot to finance the debt. We have to be in a position where we understand why the Ministry of Finance sees it fit that VAT must go up and other taxes must not go up yet, but in the future they may go up. We have to understand that this is what the government is doing. This is what they think is appropriate, and we have to get into their minds, get into the mind of your government, get into the mind of an overseer. As a parent, you should know. As a person who's in charge of their own money, you should know that at some point we have to be in charge. We have to take the shoes that the government is wearing right now, be in their shoes as a government with so many dependents under you. Some of them are poor. Majority of them are poor. What do you do to contribute or to arrange your finances in a way that will benefit everybody and stop us from going into more debt? Because debt is a big problem. If we have about 6.2 trillion of debt and we are still not getting out of it, I don't see us getting out of that debt anytime soon. It will take us almost 100 years. It will take us almost 100 years, because you can't just say we're going to collect and pay debt, collect and pay debt. You have to collect, do other things here and there, and only pay debt with about 7%. We're only going to pay debt with about 8% of the money we collect as a country. That money goes to pay debt. The rest of the money goes to schools, goes to police, goes to military. The amount of money that we have, we're going to take more than 50 years to pay off the debt that we have. We already have more than 30 years of the new democracy. We are still paying off debt from the previous government, the National Party, the time before 94. We are still paying that debt. So what I'm saying in this video is that be sensitive, or understand the mechanics of VAT, understand the mechanics of running a country before you make a point that no, VAT must not go up like it's a lot of money. It's only 28 billion that is going to increase, and we only collect about 490 billion on VAT only. So you have to understand why we need VAT and why we need an increase in VAT. If this country is going to grow and economic activity is going to grow, maybe in the future we are going to make 10 trillion GDP. Right now we are 6.8, 6.9 trillion. If in the future we are going to make 10 trillion GDP, you want to collect at a higher level. You don't want to collect at the same level because you lose money. That is one of the reasons why I think VAT should go up, because if we are positive about our country growing and improving, and we think that in the future our country is going to be making a bit more in GDP, a bit more in the economy locally. If we are going to make about 10 trillion, that's about a 3 trillion jump from the 7 trillion that we make. You want to collect a bit more from your people, and the VAT portion is a small portion. You want to collect a bit more from income tax. You want to collect a bit more from companies tax and all the other taxes that you can charge on your people and your businessmen. The amount of money that we can collect right now, don't look at it like right now because you're poor, you are suffering, you are not making enough in salary. Look at it as the future. In the future, you're going to have more kids. There are going to be more people in this country. In the future, we're going to need to collect a bit more. In my opinion, the 2% should have been approved. We should have been increasing it by 2% so that in the next 3 years, the next 5 years, when our country grows and we make close to 10 trillion in GDP, maybe we should collect more VAT. Maybe if the VAT that we collect can go to 700 billion instead of just 499 billion, it may go up to 700 billion. That's a bit more closer to a trillion. If our economy is doing well, we should collect a bit more from tax. But there are things that we're going to say about corruption, things about inefficient spending. We're not spending enough, or we are spending more than enough. We are wasting money. Those things can be solved. We can start to fix them. But if the economy is growing and you are expecting investment in the country, you want to collect a bit more from the economic activity that is happening. So let me not waste any more time. Let's finish it here. We're gonna come back with another video, and in the next video I will sum up this VAT issue, I will sum up the economic issue, and I will go and talk more about why our political dealings with each other is causing a problem for us, why the DA, the ANC, the EFF, the MK is creating an unstable situation in our economy because of their political ambitions. Let's see each other next time. This is your boy Eugene, aka G Money, on the King's Podcast, the Net Worth segment. We're out.